Hello, Minot sports fans. It is a nice and fairly mild day here in the Magic City. I want to welcome you guys in for the first double-digit episode of the Minot Sports Podcast. It is Wednesday, January 29th, and Wednesdays are usually off days, but we can still get some more content out there, definitely. Right next door to me in the studio, we got Michael live on the KMSU radio station, which reminds me, the Minot Sports Podcast is brought to you by KMSU TV Radio and Joshua Strong Photography. We've hit a stretch where it is not active, busy, whatever you want to call it. Monday, we had nothing. Yesterday, still not a plethora. But sometimes that is just how the schedule works. So we had 3 sporting events going on yesterday, Tuesday, the 28th. 2 basketball games over at Bismarck High. Both Minot High boys and girls back-to-back. And it was a sweep by the Demons. The girls took it by a score of 63-46. The Jets could not reach the 50-point plateau, unfortunately. And then for the boys, it was a 91-77. Not a total crushing, but Minot kept within it at a fairly respectable score, but just didn't come out with it. So far, it's looking like Bismarck High is a threat in the WDA region. Minot High was looking to be just that earlier, but then Bismarck High, they are on a roll. I am looking on the WDA Sports website right now. That win last night moved them to 10-3 overall and then 9-3 in the conference. For Minot, though, that's just one more loss. 10-4 overall, 9-4 in the conference for Minot. Only difference is that Bismarck High swept the regular season series. Maybe a potential WDA championship matchup. That is if, depending on what turns out of the likes of Jamestown, Century, whoever else. I know Mandan and Legacy gave Minot some fits the past couple years. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how this one turns out. As I look at Jamestown's record, they have less games played. Same number of wins as both Minot and Bismarck High, just less games played. They're 9-1 in the conference. I think not only the WDA regional format is going to be interesting, but it's going to come down to the end of the regular season. What's it going to look like? How is the playoff seeding going to look for the WDA regional tournament? Right now, Minot's sitting pretty good. It's just all about the finish in the regular season. Kind of like the playoff push. You know, with the Minot Minotauros going on, how they're in such a tight division. A couple days ago, they were sitting just 4th in the Central Division. They're now in 2nd place. It's a tight one. As for Minot High boys basketball, they're sitting quite nicely so far as of right now. It's just all about that finish. And if they finish, say, 2nd or 3rd before the season ends, or right as the season ends, rather, they're probably going to get a good spot in the WDA regional tourney. It's all about getting better as each game progresses. The opponents get tougher, start out with a certain seed, and then you win, the opponents get tougher. To be the best, you got to beat the best. So that's why I say it's going to be an interesting turnout with this boys basketball season. winding down. I think it's all going to come down between Minot, Bismarck High, and Jamestown. Just looking at the records so far, you also got to look at how Mandan and Legacy have been faring, because Legacy had success last year making it to the state tourney, and still do not count out Mandan and Century, despite that they do not have the better record versus Minot, Bismarck High, and Jamestown. I think what we're seeing now is that the WDA regional tourney is unpredictable. Like for last year, for example, who made it? It was, I'm pretty sure, Bismarck High, Century, Jamestown, and Legacy, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think it was either Bismarck High or Mandan. Actually, Bismarck, Century, Mandan, Jamestown, Legacy. I'm pretty sure that was the case. It just goes to show you that these are unpredictable. West region for boys basketball has gotten unpredictable. So that's why I say it's going to be an interesting finish. Be on the lookout for what the seedings are going to look like, who plays who. We will see how that turns out. But for now, main drivers of the West currently, Minot High, Bismarck, and Jamestown. But again, don't count out the other guys. I know Dickinson is also up to 8 wins in the conference. Same goes for Mandan. Century's got 7, but again, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how this one turns out. Once again, guys, the Minot Sports Podcast is brought to you by KMSU TV, Radio, and Joshua Strong Photography. Moving on to girls basketball. I'll get to boys hockey in a little bit. But for girls basketball, the Majettes, kind of close, but didn't turn out. As mentioned already, Bismarck High got the sweep in both games. Majettes currently sit at 5-7 overall, and that is actually their conference record as well. Bismarck High, on the other hand, 7-5 in the conference, but they got one extra win overall. So the Majettes may not be seated as high this year, but it's all about making those strides to get better every day. We will see how they turn out. Right now, as I look at these records for the girls' side, Legacy is undefeated, 12-0 in the conference, 13-0 overall. And Century, 11-1 in the conference, 12-1 overall. So they are keeping pace currently for the girls' basketball side of things. And then, over in Botno last night, we had Magicians Hockey versus the Botno Rugby Braves. Minot High, thanks to Ben Barr from KMOT with the update, 3-1 victory for your Magi. Much closer than last time. I know last year it was a 7-1 victory for Minot High. I was at that game, but it was pretty closer this time around. Botno may be making strides. Even though it was only 3 goals by Minot, the most important stat was the victory. And you want to talk about leading the West region as far as the record goes? Your Minot High Magicians boys hockey team is currently in the driver's seat. They are leading everyone. They're the only team in the West right now with double-digit wins in both overall and conference records. Conference record being 10-1, overall record 12-5. One of those losses came from neutral play and a few from the East region, so it doesn't hurt them all that badly. I said once before, and I'll say it again, this is Minot's West to win this year for boys hockey. and it's looking real nice so far. Hopefully, we can see a strong finish from them. And if they finish strong, they continue to play like this throughout the rest of the regular season, they're going to be seated nicely for the West Region tourney. Once again, boys hockey with the win over Botno Rugby 3-1. With Jets basketball losing 63-46 against Bismarck High, and the same Bismarck High Demons beat the boys team 91-77. So Minot teams went 1-2 overall last night. Not the best, but there will be better nights to come for sure. No events tonight, so an off day can kind of smooth a little easier tonight. When it comes to college events today, of course, there's nothing else as well, but an update from the MSU Beavers women's hockey team. They have just been moved up to number 2 in the nation in the ACHA rankings this week. That is literally next to the top team. The ladies over there are putting in some great work. So nicely done, ladies. And then also this week, I have not mentioned yet, thanks to Minot State Cross Country Track and Field and also Minot State Wrestling for reminding everyone on social media that it is National Thank a Coach Week. So athletes, be sure, and of course other people associated with these coaches, be sure to thank your coaches for all the hard work they've been doing and how thankful you are for them. Once again, the Minot Sports Podcast is brought to you by KMSU TV, radio, and Joshua Strong Photography. And that is everything we have for today. I thank you guys, as always. Have a nice day and take care.